Okay, thank you, Theodora. You're all welcome to tonight's session. I'm so delighted to have us today. Just before the recording started, one of us was sharing uh, with us his experience so far and how this platform has been of immense benefit to him. So please, can you go ahead, sir, Mr. Angus, and just share with us your experience briefly? The floor is
Okay.
yours, Mr.
Yeah, thank you. And I just want to express my heartfelt appreciation on the efforts you are putting in, the consistency in the posting. In fact, what I do most of the times is I leave out your post till when I have any window. I will just go through it intentionally, try to get the point and move even when I didn't have all the time to go through and digest and reason or think through the information. I still have a plan that I will make out a weekend to start the entire project from the beginning and go through. I know a lot have been put down. And I just want to say big thank you for the consistency in continuously putting a helpful information towards making us better. It marvels me. I love it. And I don't know where you draw your strength from, but gradually, I will know. But thank you. I just want to say that. And it's from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. That's very thoughtful of you, and we do appreciate this particular review that you put out for us to know. And like you to know that it's out of the abundance of the heart that the mouth speaks, just like the Holy Book says. So this is driven out of passion to see that our community of people live intentionally, bringing about a definite change, especially from the inside. And that's take me to um, what we are looking at today, which is a book review, a book that we have been working on the last 14 days of last month, and it's been very transformational. What we've been learning, if we follow through, it has ability of changing us from the inside. And particularly, we cannot, a great philosopher, James Allen said, you cannot travel within and stands without. I mean, you cannot be developing yourself, putting into yourself, changing your mindset by relevant informations, and your physical outcome remains the same. Why? Because you are working on your inside, just like a man working on the engine of his car. Because the engine of the car is the car. So our minds are like the engines of our life. So if our minds are working properly and effectively, it will also reflect on the outward part of our lives in terms of the results that we get on daily basis. I'd like to appreciate you and everyone who has been with us, who has been following through. And I know that something definitely is happening from your inside. Thank you so much, sir, for that output. We go straight to the our topic for today. Just like we've been saying, we are looking at reviewing this book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. It's been an amazing book. It's a book of transformation. And I don't want us to take it lightly because this book has been in existence for many years and it keeps on being relevant in our days because principles does not change. Principles are universal. It can be the application can be geographical, can be can be location bound to some extent, but the principle does not change. And that's why we are looking at this book So let's dive in straight. Now, this book is a powerful book. I'd like us to follow through the slides quickly. This book is a powerful book. It's a transformational book that has to do with a personal development and leadership and career transformation. Personal development, leadership, and character transformation. Now, from the book, we realize that Covey explained that life operates on maturity continuum. Maturity continuum. Now, what does he explain as maturity continuum? First one is dependence, relying on others. This explains from childhood, for instance. When a baby is born, it depends on the mother, on the parents for everything. That's a stage where we all began from. Now we proceed from there to independence. And this has to do with relying on ourselves. I mean, relying on yourself personally, independent. You have been able to stand on your own, think by yourself, do things by yourself. At this point, probably you have businesses or you're gainfully employed. But so many people stopped at this level. And that's why at a point, anyone that stops at this level gets stopped. So we ought to move to the third level, which is the interdependence. And what does it mean? Working effectively with others. Maturity continuum is the journey from relying on others to relying on yourself to successfully working with others for greater success. Now, what does it mean to be interdependent? You are collaborating, you are cooperating with people, because when people work together, definitely things change. They achieve a greater result. And that's what Stephen Covey was trying to explain to us in that aspect. Now, let's look at the overview of the 7 habits right now. Please confirm that you can hear me so that I can proceed. I cannot see everybody. Just confirm. Somebody should confirm that you can hear me so that I can proceed. Am I audible, please?
Yes, I can hear you.
Is
And I
okay.
was just looking at the participants. If we can
Oh,
slow
Can
okay.
down
hear
a
you.
bit and give up to 10 minutes, we have about 2 minutes to 8:10. I don't know, it's at your full discretion to see if more participants
Oh,
can
okay.
benefit.
Okay.
You are audible, but
Yes,
this is time bound. We don't have all the time, so I'll just suggest that we go ahead, sir.
we have not even gotten to the explanation of the point. These are just introductions. Never, I believe by the time we enter into the each of the habits, I believe many more persons will have joined, and as well, the recordings will always be available for us to go through and acquaint ourselves the more. We may not even be able to get everything because of our time. We may not be able to get them, but by the time you go through it over and over again, some point that you miss, you may be able to get them effectively. So I will just go ahead. Okay, so this is just an overview of the 7 habits that we are looking at today, as highlighted, as stated and explained in the book by Covey. Now, the number one is be proactive. Number 2, there is begin with the end in mind. Number 3 is put first things first. Number 4 is think win-win. And number 5, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Number 6, synergize. And number 7, which is this one, is one of the things I love most, sharpen the saw. Sharpen the saw. So let me not delve into introduction. Let's just run through. Now, these 7 habits are divided into 2 major victories or categories. Number 1 is private victory, that is mastering yourself. If you look at habit 1 to 3, it talks about yourself. Be proactive, begin with the end in mind, put first in first. And well, now, by the time you get to habit number 4, we are already talking about not only yourself, think win-win. Think win. So mastering relationship, habit 4 to 6. So, and as we delve into it, I'd like you to pay attention and so that you can resonate with what you have read and be able to relate with it so that you can, at the end of it, you can share your thoughts. So I will just, my own is just a summary, brief summary of each of the habits, so that at the end of the day, you can also share your thoughts and we all can learn. So let's dive deep into habit number one, which is be proactive. That's to be proactive. So sorry. Yes, be proactive. Now, this habit teaches personal responsibility. Covey explained that proactive people do not blame circumstances, other people, or the environment. They focus on what they can control. A proactive person is somebody that takes personal responsibility for his or her actions. They don't blame circumstances. They don't blame people. They don't blame their environment. In fact, people that blames others for their personal experiences are people that are irresponsible, that don't want to take responsibility. Now, Covey explains the idea of two particular concerns: circle of concern, circle of influence. Now, circle of concerns contain things we worry about, but we cannot control. But the circle of influence contains things that we can actually change. And why should I worry about things that I could not change? For instance, somebody worrying about yesterday. You're just going to the past. You will not be able to see the future. You cannot plan effectively for tomorrow if you keep looking backward. So why should I worry about things that I cannot control? What I cannot control is beyond me. I let it go. I focus on the things that I can control. So effective people focus their energy on the circle of influence. And by the time they focus on that circle of influence, these expand their impact and results. We cannot do everything, but there are things that we can do. And if we focus on that thing that we can do effectively, we will begin to have impact and results. And that's what this particular habit is talking about. So the key lesson here is take responsibility for your choices and reactions. You are responsible to yourself. You are responsible to your family. You are responsible to your sphere of influence surrounding you. So be proactive. That is, take personal responsibility for your choices, for your reactions, for everything around you. Take personal responsibility. That's what this habit one is talking about. Now, and habit two, please note what resonates with you as we go through the various habits, so that you can ask questions. You can as well put out your thoughts by the time we are through. Now, habit number two has to do with begin with the end in mind. I love this so much because it talks about vision and purpose. Begin with the end in mind. So this habit emphasizes vision and purpose. Covey explains that everything in life is created twice. First in the mind, then in reality. There is nobody that wake up and go to the bathroom first. In fact, the thought of going into the restroom will first appear in your mind. Now, many of us are preparing for Sunday service tomorrow. I'm telling as I'm talking to you right now, some persons are already figuring out the particular spot they used to sit down, the kind of vehicle they will board to the various places they are going tomorrow. Everything in life is created twice. First in the mind, then in reality. So wherever our mind has not been to, our body cannot be there. So everything that you have, now effective people live with a clear vision of what they want their life to represent. This requires developing a personal mission statement and living intentionally. What does that mean? Effective people begin with clarity of vision and purpose. And that's what this habit is talking about. Have we been able to sit down and clearly state what is your own personal mission statement? And if you don't have a personal mission statement, I'd like you after this class to go ahead and sit yourself down. What is my personal mission statement? Now, I don't want you to be confused about that. Now, when we're talking about a personal mission statement, um, uh, this can be explained as what you want to become. What do you stand for? That is, what are you known for? What are your values? What truly matters to you in life? What matters to some people may not be what matters to you. Your area of interest may be different from your neighbor. So what really matters with some, what kind of impact do you want to make in life? What is your goal? What is your aspiration? What drives you? What turns on? What makes you compassionate? What is that thing that you can do? Nobody is paying you for, but you derive joy in doing it. What is that thing? Personal mission statement. So, and this allows you to live intentionally. So, and that is what it means to begin with the end in mind. In the perspective of Stephen Covey. Now, what is the lesson for us to know today? Know your destination before you begin the journey. You don't start on a destination, you don't start on a journey without knowing where you are going to. And we are not talking about using a map, Google Map or GPRS or what, but in life and in destiny, you must have the end in mind before you commence a journey. And that's what habit number 2 is talking about. Now, we move to habit number 3, which is put first thing first. Now, this habit is about time management and discipline. And this is key to being effective and being productive. Now, effective people prioritize important things over urgent distractions. And I tell you today, distractions are all over. Distractions are all over. Now, I have a personal testimony, and Mr. Kunle also have shared with us in our last session. I discovered that, once you pick a phone and you go to the internet, there are many distractions. In fact, I can tell you that you can stay on Facebook and 2 hours will go out of your time and you cannot account for it. You can stay on YouTube and a lot of things are there. The good, the bad, and the ugly, they are there depending on what you are looking at. But I tell you the truth that this simple habit that some of us developed in reading ebooks via our phones. So instead of going through the internet, going from Facebook to Twitter to X or to YouTube and the rest, and before you know it, 3 hours is gone. You can convert that time to learning, to reading a book. You can read 2, 3 pages, 3 pages, a chapter or 2. So this is what Scoville is talking about here, managing time and discipline your time. Effective people prioritize important things over urgent things. Now, Covey teaches that success comes when people focus on activities that build long-term value. What are such activities? Planning, which is key to every successful adventure. Learning, you can never stop learning. The day you stop learning, you start dying from there. You're not dying physically, you are dying from your inside. You are dying from your mind. Your mind is becoming obsolete. What are other activities? Building relationship. Now, I tell you the truth today that the new oil well is relationship, collaboration, cooperation. Now, what are other things? Personal development. Always be big on personal development. Now, schedule your priorities, not just your activities. Some people schedule their activities, but they don't even prioritize their activities. What is the first thing that should come first? Some people want to do 10 things at once, at the same time, but you have not really started. Which one has the highest value to me and to my time? Which one is it that if I achieve now, my life will move forward? So, and this is what Kobe was referring to as put first things first. Now we move to 4. Now, at this point, you are talking about building a relationship, collaborating, cooperating with other people. Habit 4, think win-win. This habit is about mutual benefits. And this is what the great people, the richest people trade upon today. Highly effective people believe that life is not a competition where someone must lose for another to win. Think win-win. Instead, they seek solutions where everyone benefits. But this win-win requires character, integrity, maturity, abundance mindset. There is no man that has a closed mindset that can succeed in a relationship with people, collaborating with people. You cannot have a fixed mindset and succeed in this win-win game because Life is win-win. You don't pull others down so that you can win. Life is not all about competition. Life is what? You know, mutual benefits. Everyone benefits from, from what everyone is looking at, the interest. So, but win-win it requires character, good character, relating with people well, have integrity, do what you say you're going to do. If you're in partnership with somebody for a business or an adventure, now staying true to, the agreement, the discussions, maturity in the mind, abundant mindset. What is the key lesson here? True success is shared success. True success is not my success. True success is our success. That's why no organization can succeed with only the manager as the one that's the only successful person. That organization will fail. Why? Because these days, the success of one has to be the success of all. So think win-win in everything that we do with people. Think mutual benefit. Think everyone should benefit. And by that, the other party win and we also will win. And that's how collaboration and cooperation comes into play. And number 5, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Now, this habit focuses on empathetic listening. And this is so hard for so many people. Now, most people listen to reply, they listen to argue, they listen to defend themselves, they listen to defend their view. They listen not to understand what the other party is communicating, but they listen so that they can defend their views. They listen to prove a point that my own point is the best. And we cannot develop good relationship by doing that. Now, for instance, a husband or a father. Okay, let's use the example of somebody is talking. Can you also? I hope I'm still audible.
Yes, you are.
Okay, so effective people listen deeply to understand others first. We must listen to understand others' view first. Because when people feel understood, trust is built and communication becomes powerful. A husband must listen first to the wife. Now, for instance, as an example, in which a man can have a good relationship with the wife is by listening. Women loves men that listens to them. Now, this year, I'll be celebrating 10 years in marriage. And one of the things that stood out for me, there are always two people that comes together must have different views on several things. We came together from different backgrounds. That is why we must first seek to understand before we are understood. We must listen to each other, understand each other. Now, communication effectively is what brings about peace in your home, first and foremost. I used to tell somebody, somebody met me before and I was supposed to counsel such person. It's a couple. He came to my office and we were discussing. And one thing that I explained to them is that number one, any problem, the only problem that can persist is the problem that is not discussed. Any problem that can persist is the only problem that is not discussed. Any problem that can be brought to the table for discussion, that problem can be demystified. The root cause of any issue can be handled if it can be discussed. So when people feel understood, they trust you. Your partner will trust you if you are somebody that is open-minded, love to communicate, love to share your views. And what? Communication becomes powerful. So when people feel understood, trust is built and communication becomes powerful. What is the key lesson here? Understanding others is the foundation of influence. You cannot be an effective leader without seeking to understand first. Yes, you are the leader. Yes, you are the one that gives out the rules. But you must have an understanding mind, a receptive mind, an open mind to be able to, understand your teammates or the team you are leading to be able to impart them effectively. And that's what Stephen Covey is talking about in this habit fast. Please seek first to understand, then to be understood. Now we move to habit 6. We talk about synergy. This talks about cooperation. This talks about collaboration. I cannot stop saying collaboration because, sir, ma, collaboration is the new oil well. Where your hands cannot reach, by the time you join your hands to 3 more people, and you know what? There's an analogy that was described sometimes ago that you are only 3 people away to anybody you want to reach. And I have proven that to be true. In the state where you are, wherever you are right now, anybody that you want to get to, you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that can connect you to that person. So everything, that's why, in the creator's wisdom, it makes us and create us and put us in the midst of people. The only way you cannot find help is when you are inside bush, in a desert where there are no people. But as long as there are people, then you will find your help. So synergy means working together creatively to produce results, better result for that matter. Synergy means working together creatively to produce better results. Now, when people value their differences and combine their strength, they create solutions that no individual could achieve alone. When people, don't forget this, when people value their differences, that is, Mr. A has some differences from Mr. B, and Mr. C has also differences from Mr. A and B. But because we are working as a team, we listen to ourselves, we understand ourselves, we accept our differences. In our differences, we also combine our strengths together. And by that, we create solutions that no individual could achieve alone. That's why they say 2, 3 good heads are better than 1 good head. So COVID teaches that diversity of ideas and perspective produces innovation and progress. Diversities. This person is bringing his idea. This person is bringing his idea. Now, do you know that any good industry in the world today has people at the helm of affairs, not 1 person, not 2, not 3. They have board of directors. They have managers. Look at a bank, for instance. They have board of directors. They have managers. They have different levels of leadership. And by the time everybody bring their ideas together, you see that what organizations last 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. We have banks that are up to, I don't know how old is First Bank right now, Union Bank and the likes. You see them, enduring through thick and thin, through difficulties, through good times and bad times. Why? Because they have team of board of directors, team of innovative people that works together. Their mind, there's cross-fertilization of ideas that produces massive results. So what is the key lesson here? The whole is greater than some of its parts. The hand cannot say, I don't need the legs, or the head says, I don't need the hands. Every part of the body, every part work together for a common goal. So synergize, collaborate with people. What is that thing that you're doing right now? You can collaborate with somebody to get a better result. And that's what this habit number 6 is talking about. Synergize. Please collaborate and cooperate with people. And let's move to the number 7 habit. And this is very, very important. Sharpen the saw. This habit emphasizes continuous self-renewal. What does it mean by self-renewal? Continuous development. Now, COVID teaches that effective people regularly renew themselves in these 4 areas. They are not limited to other areas, but these are very basic and very important. Number one is the physical renewal, continuous self-renewal, physical, exercising as part of staying alive, rest as part of staying alive, health, maintaining good health as part of staying alive. What does that mean? Do things that will not only, so many people are pleasing their mouth and displeasing their body. They eat what will please their mouth and what but will be harmful to their body. But in as much as their tongue is comfortable with it, they don't care if their body is comfortable with it. Exercise. Exercise is part of life. These are the ways nature God has put into place for our lives. Even God rested from his work. The Holy Book said that God rested on the seventh day. So who are you not to rest? If you don't rest, you will suffer mental retardation. Your mental, reasoning will be clouded. You will not be productive. So number two, emphasize mental, continuous self-renewal in mental. And mental talks about our mind, renewing our mind, reading, learning, thinking, meditating, journaling. Everywhere I go, I have a jotter. If my jotter is not with me, I message myself on WhatsApp because ideas can just come. What you have been searching for, God can just push something to you through your mind. And if you don't grab it that particular point, it will flip away. So many things so many good ideas that has come to your mind, but you didn't document them. You can never be able to remember them again after they've gone. And they have gone to somebody else. Because now, I've had several things that I had planned to do, but because then, that was some years back, because of inaction, before you know it, in the next few months, somebody else has started doing that thing. And that's how nature works. The idea you are not working on now, in the next 2, 3, 4, 6 months down the line, you'll see that somebody else is already doing it. So the ideas that are flying, there's mixing of ideas in the universe. So if you are not doing a particular thing, somebody else will pick it up because the idea will flow through their mind as well. So in another way of continuous self-renewal is social and emotional, relationship and service. Relationship with people, cultivate good relationship with people, and ability to serve people. Now, and the last one here is spiritual values. What is your value? What is your purpose? What is your reflection? What will people remember you for? What do you stand for? So without renewal, people become exhausted and ineffective. Without renewal, people become exhausted and ineffective. So what is the key lesson here? Growth and renewal sustain long-term effectiveness, continuous growth, continuous renewal. And that's what we're after as a community, continuous growth. And one good thing about growth is that every time you grow from the inside, your result on the outside begin to change. You read a book today, you read one book every month. Do you know that by going through this book, your mind can never remain the same? Your result will be better, your relationship will be better, the things you give your attention to, your mindset, your thinking will be better. What is the difference between a billionaire and a millionaire? Is their mindset. What's the difference between someone succeeding and one that is not succeeding? Is their mindset. Is their configuration, is their mental programming. That's what separates people in their different spheres. That's why they say 20 children don't play for 20 years, because in that 20 years, they will have been what? They will have been separated into diverse lessons, into diverse spheres of life. So what are we saying today? What is the core message of this book? The central message of this book is inside-out transformation, as stated by Covey. Instead of trying to change circumstances or people or other people first, real change begins with changing ourselves. And I added this thought to it. It said, when we improve our character, our habit and mindset, we naturally influence our environment and relationships. So what we are talking about is inside out transformation. You cannot travel within and stand without. You cannot have a definite change outside without a definite change on your inside. And that's what this book is all about. So what are the key lessons I personally took from this book? I learned that effectiveness is built on principles, not shortcuts. not shortcuts. Personal victory must come before public victory. Leadership begins with self-leadership. If you cannot lead yourself well, you cannot lead others. And then cooperation produces greater result than competition. Cooperation, or replace it with collaboration, produces greater result than competition. Continuous learning and renewal are essential for long-term success. So, conclusion today, effectiveness is not about doing more things. It is about becoming a better person whose habit consistently produces results. And I add this, internal programming determines outward performance. Internal programming determines outward performance. So this book, if you read it 3 times, you have 3 different kind of experiences. You discover some new things. So it is so important that we give our mindset to continuous learning and continuous mind internal renewal and programming so that we can have our results on the outside changing, because the definition of insanity is what? Doing a particular thing in a particular direction and expecting a different result. That's the pure definition of insanity. Thank you so much for listening. And I hope we have picked 1 or 2 things uh, from what we have shared so far. So at this point in time, uh, I would like us to share our own thoughts, what resonate with you from the presentation, as well as from the book that you have read. So what do you have to share with us? We all went through this for the last 14 days of the month of February. So please, the floor is open. Share with us what is your thoughts, and we proceed from there. Who is speaking first? Who is sharing with us? What stand out for you in the course of the book and in the course of the presentation? So what stood out for you, please? I hope I'm
Okay.
still audible. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you are audible. I want to speak. Angus here. I think what resonates with me with your presentation and reflecting on the book, which I've read some time ago, though I smartly glanced through the post you made over the last 1 month, is being able to envisage or think through any adventure.
Okay. Are you done, sir? Okay.
Hello?
Okay. Who else can share with us? Yes, we can
Hello,
hear you.
can you hear me?
Okay, yes, we can hear you now.
Sorry, I had a
Yeah.
call on my phone.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm trying to put it through. Look at what works for me. One, ability to see the end from the beginning.
Hmm.
Two, ability to break down the end step by step from the beginning, picking the low-hanging fruits and certain leaving the ones I'm not able to have definite hands on. And as I pick the low-hanging fruits, gradually I get to have a better view on how to handle the bigger elephant in the room. And as such, at the end of the day, I get to my results. I apply this in my relationship with people. I apply this in executing tasks and projects I lay my hands on. Then I'm working on this in kind of my general lifestyle and will I say how I want to be perceived, because certain things we don't have immediate control over. And you can say, this is my principle. But when some realities start coming around you, you tend to start adjusting or start incorporating. Majorly, I link my daily activities on kind of moral, kind of finance, and the kind of social well-being. Anything that contradicts any of these things, I'm very apprehensive in getting to venture into it. I would say that the presentation resonates perfectly, and I will still spend time to read the book again and again and have all the 3 levels or 4 levels of impact and wisdom that can be drawn from the book. Thank you.
Wow, amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, sir. And that's what we encourage. It doesn't mean that we have started, or we have stopped this particular book reading. You can still go over it. If you have not been able to finish it off, you can still go through it. And there's no knowledge at any time that is a waste. Every knowledge gain is an addition over ourselves and the blessings that comes from it, because whatever we learn today is what we produce in our outer life. Thank you so much, sir. So who else want to share with us from our experience of the book and from tonight's review? What stood out for you? What are the things that you've personally gone through and is reflecting already in your life? Please, somebody should speak.
Okay, I can share.
Okay, sir. Please go ahead, sir. Thank you.
Yes, I think I first read the book about 25 years ago. I
Wow.
just like Angus also mentioned that it's that I has read it many years ago. When you sent the soft copy, I looked at the content, but I did not see Habit 1, Habit 2, Habit 3, like when I read it some 25 years ago. But that's just aside that. But from what you shared tonight, which you broke into the habits, what really resonated with me are the first 3, which you mentioned, talked about we are safe before others. And that's habit number 1, be proactive. Habit number 2, begin with the end in mind. And then habit 3, put first things first. For habit 1, be proactive. This talks about planning and not reacting. Most times things happen and then we now start reacting. So the first habit is we need to be proactive. We need to plan and not be reactive. That is key for me. And then the second one, which is to begin with the end in mind. I think that talks about having goals and work towards those goals. If you don't have a goal, then definitely you have no target to reach. So without goals, no achievement. So that is begins with the end in mind. And if we're looking at maybe financial terms, what is the end in mind for you this year? If it's 10 million, then you know that I'm looking for 10 million. I'm just giving an example. So begin with that and now work towards it. But if you don't have that at all, then you stand the risk of not even achieving anything. So begin with the end in mind. And then the third one is put first things first. That's the third one. The third habit, put first things first. The world is full of so many distractions, just like you mentioned in your presentation. People can spend 2 hours, 3 hours on Instagram. Some can even spend the whole day, say 6 hours. It could be that bad. And not just that, it also goes to those who are addicted to maybe video games or watching African Magic or watching movies. You could spend 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours watching, which will not really contribute much to what you want to achieve in life. So people major in the minor instead of majoring in the major. You put first things first. I said so many distractions, seeking for attention, even for our time. You mentioned we must create time for exercise. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. I need to drink water. But I understand you get what I'm saying. Thank you.
That's all right, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Wow, that also resonates with me. Um, a lot of things are out there to steal your time, to steal your resources, and steal what is important to you. And that's the reason why one has to be focused. One has to have a purpose in mind, because just like Mr. Kunle said, if you don't have a goal, then you cannot score one. If you don't have a goalpost, for instance, which is a typical example of end in mind, you're achieving, you are targeting like a footballer, targeting to score a goal through a goalpost ahead of you. And you see, footballers playing 90 minutes just to run between two poles because they have a goal. So that stood for me. And I want us to also reflect that everyone has 24 hours. And what we do with our 24 hours is what will eventually print as a result for us at the end of the day. Thank you so much and for your insights. This is very helpful and insightful. Thank you so much. Do we have any other person that we want to contribute to our discussion today? Do we have any other person that want to contribute our discussion today? Does anybody have a question as regards these habits 1 to 7? And we have anything to share with us? Please, the floor is still open. We have some few minutes to do that so that we can round up and move ahead to the next thing. Okay. I want to first and foremost appreciate all for being part of our book review today. This is part of the growth process that we want to be known for and what we stands for as a community. So that a time will come that you are the results that your life is generating, others will begin to share as part of it because of what your life is becoming. I hope I'm still audible, please. Awesome. So,
Yes, you are.
yeah, thank you so much. So please, I want to encourage as many who have not gone through the book. This review is not enough. This is summary. Go there. Every time I go through the book, I write and write and write and write. I will not say it's my book. Why am I copying? I may not be copying note as if I copy note in secondary school, but points that stood out for me, I put them in my jotter and I meditate over them so that as to get uh, the fruits of those insights coming out from the minds of other people. And I also want to encourage us that whatever we put forth on the platform, we go through it because all has a way of building our mindset and bringing about the best out of us. Please, we must continue to seek knowledge and love books. Through books, we can get 100 people's mind all across the world who understand it to become better. So books are mysteries that that God has placed in our hands to be able to, you can study many countries together via books. So we can become better via books. So knowledge is key in our pursuit of growth and synergy. And as we continue to do this, you know what? We'll be changing as we collaborate, our lives will be getting better. And the utmost all is making impact so that people can see you and model their life after you. People can be, secret mentees. You can be counselors to people. You may not know them. So many people are counselors to so many people all over the world that they may not know. Why? Because they have their materials and the materials are accessible to all. At this point, I'd like to appreciate everyone again for joining today. And in our next live session, we hope to have one of my mentors to speak with us. I'm still in touch with her. If everything, if we're able to finalize on that, we'll put it on the platform so that we can prepare for it. It's going to be a big time so that we can end this quarter on a very good note. I want us to have somebody speak with us that I've seen far and wide, and it will help us to close this first quarter in a big way and forge into the second quarter of the year a better person and achieving a better result. Thank you all and God bless. Please, can we, if there's no other thing, please, if you have any other thing, please, you can still share before we stop the recording. Does anyone have anything to share? Or did anybody drop anything in the chat? But okay, I'm seeing it's like only 3 degrees of separation. Yes, exactly. MD, ED, yes. Managing directors, executive directors, general managers, etc. Thank you so much. Okay, in the absence of any further contribution, can we please end the recording? Can we end the recording?